Bean Ranger. Hey, so do I quality management and HR consulting? Okay, so I do quality management and HR consulting, and it's hard for me to find a contract. Yeah, so that's the thing. What we do in the commercial space, this is like step one. This is all in like system one prospecting system. This particular problem, if you are doing something in the commercial space, then you're coming on SAM.gov and you're not finding it after you've done, keyword searches, NAICS code searches. Maybe you went on to USA Spending to even see what spending is in this area, and spending is not very high. I tell everybody, I nor you have a magic wand to magically put contracts for what you go after. Okay. Yes, the government buys a lot. Yes, it's like the biggest customer. Sure. But that does not mean they are buying what you do the way that you provide it in the commercial space. And so many make this error, and then they say, oh, I can't find it, so I must not be searching well, so let me go invest in a software. So then you start paying money to get a software that's just going to rehash the same information that's on SAM, or maybe it's going to start pulling from local and city contracts as well, state contracts, if that's the type of thing you're into. I only do federal. We only look at federal. SAM is only federal. But to have a software that rehashes and makes for maybe a nicer user interface experience, that is the value add that those paid softwares offer. But they're not giving you additional bids. The only additional bids that they could give you would be for city, state, and local. And you may not even be going after those. And you may not find even it in city, state, and local. So I understand and I appreciate that you offer quality management and HR consulting. I can tell you from my experience, the government is not buying a lot of that. Okay, because they do a lot of it, like they do it themselves. Doesn't mean they don't need it, but they are doing it themselves internally to support their missions. They're not needing a contractor for the outside to come in and do it, right? Because how would that work too? How would an outsider come in and run HR? That outsider has no idea at all how the culture of the organization works. Now we do see like, executive coaching, executive training, things like that, consultants that come in, the government buys that. Again, not a huge amount, but they do buy it. But these mission critical inside things, it kind of makes sense that we don't see a lot of contracts for those. It's not that they don't need them, it's that they're doing them themselves. So the point being, not for this particular industry that we're talking about, but anybody who's coming, and I pick on notary services a lot. Yeah, we may see 1 or 2 or 3 contracts for it, but if the government's not buying it, we cannot build a business off of that. And that's just the truth that you need to find out sooner than later. So that maybe if they're buying a little bit, but not a lot, then what can we branch out? What are other complementary services that the government is buying? What are other professional services that we can put underneath a professional service umbrella, where if we do see HR consulting or training or quality or other, executive type services, that we can offer that, but what are some other things too that we're able to grow into? If you're unable or unwilling or not wanting to do that, then federal contracting is not going to be for you. It's just like, it's not going to work because the contracts are not there, right? So we have to understand our customer. We have to understand what our customers' needs, and we have to, as a contractor, rise to the occasion to solve their problems, to offer a solution. It is not our job to say, hey, we're a business, we do this, get in line. We can't do that because they're not going to get in line. You have to get in line with them, which means you have to work intelligently and work backwards from what's being bought instead of fronting, saying, I want to sell this, but nobody wants to buy it. Okay. Because it exists very much in the commercial space. And again, I'm soapboxing because there's so many industries that try to come from the commercial space into government contracting. And then, they end up spending a lot of money because they're not finding it. It's just not there. It's just, if it's not there, it's not there. There is no magic wand. We can't put it there. So instead we need to find what is there and see where the overlap is. Okay. That's not for me, but maybe I could do this if you're wanting to do this. Otherwise don't do it, because it's not for everybody. It's not for every business model. And I'm saying that for everybody who may be in a similar position.